The new StorageExpert tool for MetaLogics will quickly analyze your SharePoint environment and determine how you can optimize your SharePoint databases by implementing remote blob storage. If you're not aware of remote blob storage, called RBS for short, it's simply the process of moving data out of SQL database storage and into a more optimal storage location. So what can this tool do for me? StorageExpert will uncover opportunities to architect a more scalable SharePoint environment by introducing remote blob storage to your SharePoint implementation. It will show you how much space is being hogged by binary large objects known as blobs. Typically, 90 to 98% of your content databases consist of blobs. You will see if your SharePoint environment is growing and if you need to get ahead of any future scalability issues or upcoming storage expenditures. StorageExpert will even give you an understanding of the type of content you have and if you can take advantage of archiving of stale content. Beyond showing the architectural advantages of RBS, you can also calculate the total cost of ownership by implementing a remote blob storage product versus doing nothing, and how you can save time and money in the long term. To get started, simply run the quick installation from any web front-end server. Once downloaded, a key will get automatically sent to you via email, and the install process will only take you another 30 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and launch StorageExpert from my desktop. And once you're in StorageExpert, tell us a little bit about you and your SharePoint environment. Then choose what part of the farm you want to analyze. Here, I'm going to select my entire farm. Let's go ahead and get started. Across the top, you will see statistics on the size of the portion of the farm you selected in the previous screen. Key to this data is the total size of that farm after externalization and the percent smaller that amounts to. Right below these data points are two pie charts. The first one displays the amount of blobs that are in your farm versus the amount of metadata. Remember, 90 to 98% of your database is made up of blobs, or unstructured data, while the rest is simply metadata or the structured data. To the right, you'll have a great view of the space allocated to each content database. As you hover over each section, you will see the specific sizes and the percentage of total space that each database is using. To go even further, clicking the Sizing Changes per Database button will give you a more granular view, including how much space will be saved in each database. At this point, we've learned a lot of information about the state of the farm's distribution of storage and how much RBS can optimize SharePoint's databases. Next, you will see three important indicators that will determine if you can take advantage of some of the advanced features of RBS. The first stat on the left shows you the percentage of files that are over 1 megabyte, which would be ideally stored outside of SQL databases. Databases are not ideal for storing larger files. Performance will suffer, and the larger your overall database gets, the more difficult it becomes to administer and manage. Once files are no longer in the database, you can take advantage of commodity storage and cloud storage that are more ideally suited for these types of files. To the right of that stat, you will see the percentage of your data that has not been modified within the last year. Archiving unused content to cheaper devices or cloud storage allows you to keep a clean environment as well as meet any long-term disposition and retention requirements. This can be especially valuable when looking at storing data in third-party storage like Azure, EMC, Hitachi, and others. Lastly, you'll gain insight into how quickly your environment is growing compared to last year. It can also be an indicator of when more storage space will be required to account for that growth. These three figures will allow you to determine if you can take advantage of some of the core functionality that a remote blob storage product provides. For growing environments with demanding users, RBS will allow you to implement the proper SharePoint architecture that is easier to manage and will efficiently scale as SharePoint grows. This growth can also translate into cost savings. The button at the bottom will take you to a total cost of ownership calculator. In the long term, often around 3 years, storing data on a file server, a third-party logical device, or on cloud storage can provide significant cost savings. Your total storage will automatically be entered based on the scope you selected in StorageExpert's first screen. Enter the price that you are going to pay to acquire our RBS product, StoragePoint, and then simply find the row designated for the location that you'll be storing your blobs in. Enter the percentage of data that will remain in SQL Server, and then enter the percentage of data that will be stored on the location of your choosing. Enter your cost per gig per month, and the calculator will automatically enter your total monthly cost. If you have an acquisition cost associated with acquiring a new device or cloud storage, Enter it here, or simply enter your one-time total cost of acquiring that particular storage. At the bottom of the calculator, you will see the results based on the numbers provided. It outlines the total acquisition and monthly cost when using StoragePoint versus the total acquisition and monthly cost without StoragePoint, basically if all your data remains in SQL Server. The cost savings will be obvious, and as you can see in green, the monthly cost savings with StoragePoint will provide an ROI in a matter of years. As you can see, StorageExpert is a simple tool that shows the power an RBS product like StoragePoint can yield. When implemented, you can quickly set up automatic storage tiering, archiving, efficient storage of any size file, improve your backup speeds, and even quickly connect your existing file shares to SharePoint. Not only does it create a more efficient and manageable architecture, but it even has the opportunity to introduce significant cost savings. Thank you for watching this first look at the free StorageExpert product. To learn more about RBS, StoragePoint, and to get your free download of StorageExpert, visit Metalogix.com.